Is it scary on set? You know, what was the creepiest moment on set for you guys?
There's a moment they said they weren't going to pay us.
that was
terrifying.
But is it scary? Are you scared? Do you have scary moments?
It's disturbing bits. I'd say rather than scared moments, because you're working very long hours and you get exhausted, and there comes a kind of lack of terror with exhaustion sometimes. But there was real disturbing moments, and a lot of them were provided by being in the proximity of Bill Skarsgård when he was doing his thing.
Yeah, when he would go off,
amazing.
It was it was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What's more important? Is it sort of studying the performance of the original that Sophia gave, or is it sort of meeting Sophia and learning more about her?
For me, the most important thing was the performance she gave, because it's such a great blueprint for who Bev was when she was a kid and where she's going. Of course, I loved meeting her, Soph, and talking to her about how she approached the character, but most of our conversations were about Beverly.
I heard the kids wrote letters. Did all the kids write letters to you guys? What stood out, you know?
I mean, I was surprised what Jeremy wrote, and Ben's perspective as a child was kind of similar to what I had been preparing before I got to set. And a lot of it had to do with Beverly, and I guess his fears, or Ben's fears of, becoming lonely in life, which kind of plays out in those 27 years. So yeah, it was cool. It was nice to know that I was bang on in that kind of realm. But I took a lot from watching the first film too. There's this beautiful moment where Jeremy Ray Taylor, who plays young Ben, he when he first meets Bev, and he almost blushes on cue, which is incredibly hard to do, So I kind of took that feeling and infused it into the adult version.
Isaiah, I feel like Mike is a very, very important character in this film because Mike is the only one that stayed in Derry. Can you sort of explain his point of view, and he's the one who brings everyone back together, and can you talk about his place in this film and how he serves the story?
Since he hasn't changed, I don't think that he's ever gotten over the things that happened in the first film. So I think he's just kind of trying to do his best to come to grips with it for 27 years. So when he discovers that things are starting to look familiar, he feels that he has what he thinks is the best solution. And I think when you like you said, it's hard to talk about it because I might give some stuff away. So I just think that when you see the film, you'll see how he's adjusting to dealing with all the stuff that he remembered for the past, or kept with him for 27 years.
Did you all go on a weekend retreat or something in terms of finding the chemistry as an ensemble, finding the chemistry of these childhood friends who went on these experiences together? What did you do to sort of find that chemistry?
Karaoke.
We did
Karaoke?
Well, we filmed the Jade of the Orient scene first, and that we all threw us together. And I think that can actually be really unnerving because we all are just trying to figure each other out as people and then as performers. And then we did a lot of karaoke. Yeah.
Was there a song? Is there a moment that everybody rocked out in? It was like, that's your song.
You did. I know all the words to Common People.
That was
everyone was
really
good.
We're like, wow, he can sing.
Yeah, PJ, he blew
I
it
like
out.
Jarvis Cocker a great deal.
Bill,
The kids love Jarvis Cocker.
Bill and James, the relationship that your two characters have in the first film it provides a lot of comic relief. There's a lot going on between the two of you guys. Is that return in this film?
No.
It's very serious now, actually, between them. They're trying to start a business.
Yeah.
And it's not going well because they don't know. There's a really long scene at a bank.
Yeah.
Of us just trying to get
It's actually,
along.
it's 15, and I don't
It's just
say
us trying to
anything
get
the
along,
entire
no
time.
scares, no anything, very dry.
Bill's really,
facts.
and Richie's
I was like,
character.
this is in the book, and
it's-
he was like, yeah, no, it's good. It's
His
good.
character gets really frustrated because his credit is like at a 648, and I'm just, it's not that good.
Everybody's gonna be like, where was this scene in the
No,
film?
yeah, I
Was
was
this
looking at it in the
cutscene?
book, but yeah, there's this really amazing scene in a bank with the two of us trying to get a loan. It just doesn't. They said it messed with the pacing of the movie.
Yeah, I
It was
think
like
it's,
25, 30 minutes.
yeah, they kept 15 of it in though, so.
What was most important for you sort of in becoming the older adult version of Finn's character, of Richie?
I don't know. I mean, it's just Richie's, he's just like a guy who's a funny, like a lot of comedians I know, he kind of mask things with jokes and busting on people like this guy and everybody, but there's a lot of repressed feelings, like all of them, dealing with trauma. I mean, the movie, what's kind of great is not just what's all great horror films. It's not just about horror. I mean, it could be it's about childhood trauma and growing up with trauma and a collective trauma between these people, and they can all, we all have the same experience, but they all kind of have the same disease, these characters, and they come back together. And so there's like an interesting relatability to it beyond just the horror stuff.
Yeah, and speaking of childhood trauma, Beverly in this film as an adult, the blood is back. I was just talking to Andy. Apparently, the most blood maybe ever in a horror movie.
In a scene.
In a scene that has this distinction. What was that like for you? Just being covered in that blood.
You know what? It's funny, when I went to do it, I thought like it was a one-day thing, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it. This, something that you're kind of a little like uncomfortable with, but you think like it's over in a day, and then it lasted like 6 weeks because I had to keep pouring it all over me. So it wasn't fun, but it looks amazing, and also I think it's important. Because I don't want to do too much, but for Beverly's journey, I thought it was really a cool thing.
Andy, talk to me about Stanley.
What do you want to know?
Where is he? Where is he as we sort of pick?
He picks up after the bank loan. So they left the bank, and then they say, "Could you tag in?" And I tag in.
The whole thing of us trying to get in on his credit.
And that scene actually lasts 20 minutes, and it's just him scanning papers.
I like this. I like
Financials.
the spinoff version.
I'm being an asshole. So what about him?
Where is Stanley's character? Where we meet him this time around?
It's hard.
I mean, you probably meet him like you probably what the hell?
But you meet with the phone call.
You meet with as every one of
right?
these characters. We're meeting them with a phone call,
Yeah.
and they're in the middle of their life. It's been 27 years of repressed trauma, and people are in their various stages of success. Stanley has found a life that he loves, and a wife that he loves, and a contentment, and so it would seem a peace. And we find him there.